Weary stranger, hear the owl. Wicked killer, hear the owl. Its breath is foul, and terrible its howl. Carter heard the words like an echo through the hot desert air. He also heard the distant hooting sound again, and he could swear he was seeing a bird far away in the sky. For days they were walking through nothing. Mad laughter suddenly came from the distance. Carter only stared ahead. It all seemed like a dream to him. Figures appeared and disappeared around him, their features changing and glimmering, but not too vague to make out who it was. It was Lisa, beaten and bloody, and his son, pale and bruised. He tried to reach out to them, but they burst into flames before he could come closer. He could still feel Runner's steady trot beneath him, but his mind had difficulty registering him. Nor did he find the Reverend in his trance-like state. He only saw the dead around, mocking, leering, waiting for him to succumb. Again, he heard an owl right before something soared right over his head. It was the same ghostly black owl from before. Taking his gun, he wanted to shoot the damn bird when Runner suddenly buckled beneath him. They both fell, and for a moment Carter just lay there staring towards the sky, which had taken on an unnervingly red color. He turned to his left to look after his stallion, to tell him they needed to get on out of this awful place, but when he turned, his heart froze at the sight. Blackened bones were all that was left of his faithful friend. No, this ain't real. I'm dreaming. Carter felt himself starting to tremble as he got up. His legs, however, couldn't carry him for long, and he fell. He felt like bursting into flames himself any moment. He just couldn't tear his eyes from the bones in front of him. It made him sick. He had killed him, just like he had killed his family. Carter felt his stomach churn. There wasn't much inside it to begin with, yet his body still spilled the scarce contents. He was expecting to cry, but no tears came. His eyes were dry. He had become a demon once and for all. In the distance he saw a black figure approach. It was too far to tell if it was a man or woman, or dangerous. A sudden dread replaced the guilt he had felt seconds ago. He had to get out of there. He had to run, but his strength was gone. He stumbled and fell and just lay there, feeling the hot wind on his skin. There was blood-stained sand all around. It even smelled of rust. Carter just kept lying there, waiting. When a long black cloak came into sight, he closed his eyes. He didn't want to know what would happen next. It was no use knowing, just as it was no use to remember. He was tired. "Steve?" He heard her voice in the dark. "You remember what you always called me in your letters?" "Me, Alma," he mumbled, only half conscious. "Good God, Carter, wake up!" Opening his eyes, Carter felt himself bound to a wooden stake. "Shut up, whiny priest," he hissed to the man to his left. His throat was dry and his head was aching. He almost wished himself unconscious again. In front of them stood a tribe of Indians, of which two had torches in their hands ready to set the two men ablaze. Shit. Carter cursed. Dozens of hostile eyes stared at them. Carter stared back, teeth grinding. "Where's my horse?" No one answered. "I swear if you bastards did anything to me, you will need more than rope and fire to keep me away." That threat seemed to work, as a few looked at him with very uncertainty. He didn't know what they saw in his eyes, but it must have been working. "Words are useless." One of the men spoke up. "You trespassed. You will pay." The tone was final. Carter assumed that man to be in charge from the way he spoke and from the bearing. "Just passing through," he retorted, trying to get his hands free, but the rope was too firm. "You cut me loose, I'll be on my way." The Indian shook his head, even though his hair was still black, his face young, the eyes showed a long life. "And come back with more men to burn our homes." That statement let the outlaw fall silent. His voice grew suddenly heavy without his wand. "True. My people did a lot of injustice. He paused when memories caused his voice to break. In a low tone he carried on. But killing me without hearing what I have to say? Don't that put you on the same level? The chief's face remained firm, but his eyes were changing. You people only talk and talk. Lincoln talked and talked. So did Washington, and both ensnared us with their words. We are tired of words without meaning. That makes two of us. Carter chuckled bitterly. He held the chief stare for a moment before casting down his eyes. Then he looked back up with a new fire. For your tribe's sake, I ask again, let me go. There were no more words. Carter knew the Indian recognized him for what he was, a warrior. It needed a warrior to see a warrior. The chief stepped closer, despite the warning of the man next to him. I am Owl Hoots, Stephen Carter. You will go? I have no business with you. Then who will receive all that wrath that poisons your soul? Someone who took everything. Carter didn't bother to hide the maliciousness in his voice. Owl Hoot still eyed him for a second, but decided to trust the outlaw. Being freed from the bonds allowed the man to use his legs, but his hallucinations hadn't been wrong when it came to his weakness. His legs buckled immediately, sending him to the ground. Feeling hands trying to lift him to his feet, he shrugged them off in his wounded pride. Leave me. Carter didn't know how much the priest had noticed, yet the fact itself of him crumbling on the inside caused even more rage. With a thud, a water hose landed in front of Carter. Drink. It was Owl Hoots. Otherwise you won't leave, I'm afraid. Still feeling humbled, he took the water. If you could spare us some food, the priest started, but Carter silenced him. Shut up! Getting to his feet, he gave back the hose. Where's my horse? Owl Hoots raised an eyebrow at the rude tone. The outlaw swallowed and tried to sound softer than before. Please. In contrast to what he had seen in the desert, his stallion was alive and well, and pleased to see his rider. Carter didn't hesitate to go forward and stroke the mane. Good boy. After asking which way was west, they had been on their way at once, riding through the chilly night. You saved me, his companion uttered in sincere disbelief. Didn't save you, just avoided to have to endure your damn screaming. Now shut up. They kept riding through the day, before settling down to rest, much to the priest's discomfort. I wonder, he started again when they sat around a small fire. Why don't you shoot me? Bullets are hard to get, Carter answered, rolling his eyes. That man just couldn't keep his damn mouth shut. I don't believe that. You better do. I mean that this is the only reason. Careful, or I'll change my mind. I'm of no use to you. Why keep me? Right now you keep following me. I need protection, at least to the next town. Carter only shook his head and grinned at the priest, using him as well. The grin faded when another question came. Is it true? You lost everything. Carter pierced the priest with a firm stare. Good night, father. With that he laid down on the ground, listening to the fire, but sleep didn't come. Even when the fire was about to die down, he was still awake. Hearing the rustle of wings, he looked around. An owl sat on a protruding rock. Son of a bitch, Carter muttered, taking his gun. Of course, the next time he looked, the damn bird was gone. The man next to him was snoring. Unable to sit still, he got up. Steve? Carter turned around. He was alone. I can hear you, but I can't see you. I'm all around, my love. How's our son? The question came before he could think about its foolishness. He misses his father? Tired of trying to find her, Carter sat down on a rock. A steep slope led downwards where more bushes grew on the barren plain. The pale moonlight bathed the sand, turning it silvery white. He could feel her presence next to him. He knew if he looked he would see nothing, but he knew it was her. When will you come home? Soon enough, I hope. After a minute he added, although I'm not sure I'll see her. Hell is calling for me. He closed his eyes when he felt a hand on his cheek. I'm damned. No, you're not. She breathed into the air. A sudden wind brushed his face as he felt her fade away. No, not yet. He hadn't told her yet how sorry he was, how much he wished he would have been there. Jumping to his feet, he looked around. The ghost of the past was gone, leaving him with nothing but cold loneliness. Following the past prevents you from seeing the future. Owl Hoot suddenly sat next to where he stood. Carter's heart skipped a beat. He hadn't heard the Indian. Won't you sit? The chief asked with sincere gentleness. Struggling for words, Carter followed the advice. They both looked towards the horizon until the outlaw spoke. I wonder if I'm punished for letting my home down. Divine punishment is something the white man believes in, Owl Hoot said with patient certainty. We have no such self-loathing. Then how do you explain all that wickedness? How? Carter paused. How do you explain me? There are good and evil spirits in this world, and sometimes the one cannot protect us from the other. Owl Hoot turned to Carter. You are a man unable to let go. You are a product of your hatred. So I'm supposed to forget. Years ago, the army attacked our settlement to chase us away. They raped and they killed. The Indian had turned back to the horizon again. His voice was heavy and yet serene. My wife lost her life back then. It's always the woman they take, ain't it? It's those they deem weak they go after. They are cowards. Yankees, Carter uttered. He well knew the meaning of the word the South had adopted. My mind often wanders back to that day, but it is not good. Man should not dwell on those decisions he has no voice in. I ain't trying to change the outcome. It can't be done. I'm trying to change my role in it. Death is the only thing you desire? There's nothing left. There won't be if you cling to the past. There is no other way for me, Carter said firmly and got up, walking away and back to where the priest was still sleeping. Life is precious, Carter. Why waste it? The chief's words followed him. Carter, however, brushed them off. He was determined to kill Dabney. The feds were on his heels, and if they weren't, they soon would be either way. He couldn't stop. He wouldn't stop. Killing and dying was all he had left. Vengeance was all he desired. And by God, he would get it.